Team ban.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back, finally, after a long delay, for a little bit more of the Female Dota 2 Southeast Asia League Season 2. And we are watching now two of the strongest teams, I think, in the tournament.
Ban.
It is SMG up against PMS Asterisk. And I'm joined today by Metamorphosis. How you doing, Meta?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking me to come along. I was doing some kind of quick basic research from some of the profiles on SMG Girls and PMS Asterisk, and you're right. I mean, I'll be looking forward to an amazing match today, basically.
Yeah, this is going to be good. I've seen PMS before. I think I might even have caught an SMG game before, but I know that PMS are good, and I think Divok has cast some SMG ones, and he was telling me they were very good. And this is weird. Like, I was watching the TI4 qualifiers yesterday. The bans and the picks were kind of insane to me. Like, Invoker never got picked up or banned. Ember Spirit never got picked up or banned. And that's very unusual for me. Like, I'm used to that being a big part of the meta. This is more what I'm used to.
Yes, but I mean, that's been changing, especially with the update. I think people have realized how to counter Ember, and Invoker was always... You know, he was always situational, I would say, as a hero. It's just somehow he got re-involved in the new meta because of the new sets and everything like that. So, you know, but now that is kind of changing in the qualifiers, and it will be interesting to see what these guys do here as well.
Yeah, I gotta say.
Off the.
Yep. No, there you go.
Yeah, off the bat, I mean, some great bands here. The Lycan, the Doom, the Invoker, the Bristleback. All tier 1 players, all very strong, all very good at kind of ganking, pushing, disabling. So, and their pickups also are amazing as well.
I mean, this is the thing that I'm finding a little bit strange here. Like, okay, Ember Spirit not as popular anymore. You can counter him in a lot of ways. Disruptor being one of the favourites. But with him still in the pool and SMG having the first pick, I find the Doom ban a little bit strange. Because at least in this tournament, even if this isn't how the the TI4 qualifiers are going, in this tournament, Invoker and Ember Spirit have been very strong. And to me, one of the biggest counters to Ember Spirit is Doom. It's because it just works so well. Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, little man. Were you trying to catch on fire?
The Doom ability did get nerfed. I mean, the Ags on Doom is absolutely a great thing. Having said that, now, if you have a pipe, then that counteracts some of the damage that comes out of Doom as well. So...
Well, it's not for the damage, though, is it? You put it on Ember for the disable, because then he can't TP out, and he can't Remnant away or anything like that.
Buy an Orchid.
True. Yep.
So, you can or grab a Disruptor on the support. So, you know, there are lots of options to kind of tie him down and counter him. And if you're picking up a Doom, effectively you're either going to put him in the hard lane or you're going to use him as a carry. And that might not be something that you'd want to do, basically. You might not want to Doom carry, because, let's be honest, he's not the hardest of carries in the game.
But I'm just looking at the moment, I mean, they do need something to counter this Ember. And they don't have it yet. I mean, yeah, Slark could go for the Orchid. I guess.
That's a possibility there. But I mean, it's still, you do need lockdown. And the fact that SMG Girls picked up the Mirana as well. I mean, the Mirana is such a great pickup. And Herald, it gives us such ganking ability, maneuverability. It means that they can set up 3 or 4 man ganks as well with the ult, or get out of situations if they need to be. So these two are very good pickups, and we've seen Mirana also being picked up in the qualifiers of TI4 quite a lot, and she's banned quite often as well, because you know, she's become this kind of amazing hero that you can play in almost any lane at the moment.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I'm also thinking that, okay, so say PMS now do pick up some kind of very hard disable, something like a Disruptor. Even that won't allow you to initiate too well on the Ember Spirit if he's alone, because Mirana can just invis, so he's got another escape mechanism now. That's going to be really tricky to counter, I think, for them. I mean, that said, I do like the Slark in the AA. It means that they can gank a lot early game and try and shut down the Ember Spirit before he can get that farm.
True, and the Slark's maneuverability, I mean, the movement speed from his ult, the fact that they can know where the wards are and then de-ward them accordingly, it gives him a lot of map control. Once Slark hits 6, it basically, the map control will immediately go to PMS team because of his ability to kind of know where everything is and to kind of counter ward accordingly, basically.
I got Slark as one of my compendium heroes. Took me a couple of games to get a win with him because I've never played the bastard before. But I gotta say, the thing that surprised me most is just like once you hit 6, suddenly you're a race car, and like nothing can stop you as you just zip around the map. Oh, it's so fun. I'm going to be playing a lot more
His movement speed gets to about 420, 460, yeah, and I was there with you in that game. I mean, if I remember correctly, the only reason that we won that game is because I was playing a Razor and I got 30 kills out of the total of 45 that we had on our team.
Yeah, you were doing the safe lane Razor, and we had, who was it? Was it Lua or Kick on the mid Naga? And it was just like, it went late game and we had Naga. And Razor for the team fights, but just like push everywhere. Killing everywhere, me missing leaps, occasionally debuffing something.
We need to do that again because I have an IO pickup on my compendium and I don't think I'll get that win. But yeah, we just need to dedicate one win for each member by the other people picking up their best heroes and hopefully kind of running through the other team.
Yes, we do.
Speaking of pickups, Centaur, a great offlaner. He's one of the strongest offlaners. He's one of the greatest tanks in the game as well. So that's a really good kind of initiation. If he grabs the blink, he can blink in and hoof stomp with his ult as well. Stampede, there is a great mechanism for escape or initiation for the rest of the team as well. Obviously, if he picks up a pipe, that might come into benefit as well with kind of healing away from some of that magic damage that might be coming out of SMG girls.
Ooh, the Abaddon pickup. Now, I'm not... Actually, no, I am a fan of this, because they have to take this late game if they want to farm up that Ember Spirit. Now, Abaddon is crappy as an aggressive support. Great. 100% great as a defensive support. What I'm hoping is that we don't see him go for Ags, because I had a game recently where our supports were Kotl and Lion, and we had a 3-core, which is very greedy anyway. And because of the 6.81 changes, everybody who's playing the supports is just immediately trying to rush Ags. And it's like, oh yeah, but now my Finger of Death is AoE. Oh yeah, now I've got my ult on all the time. And it's like, yeah, but we don't have the gold as a team for you to have Ag Scepter. And it's the same deal with Abaddon.
Yeah, we need a mechanism, guys. Someone, please buy some heals. We're not surviving these team fights. Yeah, but I mean, Abaddon or Abaddon, however you want to call it, he's an amazing support. I mean, with his miscoil and with his, aphotic shield, he basically can save a lot of people, and he can get quite tanky as well. So in a way, I find that to be quite a good counter for Centaur. Because if you initiate with Centaur, then obviously with his ult, borrowed time, that means he can tank a lot of the damage that might be coming out from the other team. He can save his teammate with miscoil and aphotic shield as well. And worst comes to worst, he can suicide with miscoil. So that's no gold going towards a kill against him, basically.
Absolutely,
so that is a very good pickup here as well.
I'm just really hoping he doesn't go Ags, because it's like with the... You could get an Ags on AA, and people always say, okay, well, so you can get Ags on support, but you get the Ags on AA because with his spammable ult, he can farm the entire map all the time, even as a support. So he can get that gold. Abaddon has nothing like that.
AA is a very greedy support. If you look at the qualifiers, and even before that at some of the JDL tournaments as well, which you've casted, in a lot of the games we find AA buying a Midas because he not only needs to farm up his support items, he also, as you mentioned, needs to farm up the Ags to give him the AoE. So he's the kind of support that needs a bit of space to farm up his items. Otherwise, his ult at level 1 doesn't really do that much damage. So, if he gets shut down, then he becomes incredibly ineffective. But if you can give him some space, give him some levels, give him some farm, then he becomes a force to be reckoned with.
10 seconds
Absolutely.
to go.
Yeah. So I'm just quickly doing some technical things. Apparently, I changed the title for the Twitch broadcast, but it hadn't actually changed.
Dire's ban.
Well, if that's the case, then I'll talk about the bans as well. We saw an Axe ban and an Nyx Assassin ban. I mean, very solid bans. I mean, Axe can be very problematic to deal with. Still with his double helix, still with all the buffs and the debuffs that they've had with him. And from PMS asterisks, they banned the Bloodseeker and the Viper. Viper, a great hero, does a lot of damage. Bloodseeker gives global vision, has amazing movement speed, and in a way he's a counter to Slark, because if Slark gets to less 50% health, he really can't heal if there's a Bloodseeker on the map. So, you know, they're kind of trying to protect their farm carries by countering, by having these counters, by having these heroes banned as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the mechanic on that, for anyone who doesn't know, is Slark regenerates when out of vision, and Bloodseeker gets vision of heroes when they're below 50%. So, unless Slark pops his ult to become totally invisible, he won't actually be able to regenerate once he drops below 50, no matter where he is on the map. And we get two solid tanks picked up as the final ones, Wraith King versus Dragon Knight. That'll be an epic showdown, I think, if they start going man mode at each other. I do kind of like that, though. It gives PMS a great pushing lineup.
Yeah, but SMG girls really greedy with their pickup of the Wraith King. Even if he's playing as support, he's not effective till we get 6, and until 16, where his ult kind of recharges every single minute, the reincarnation. You know, he's still kind of a bit of an apprehensive support, if you know what I mean.
I think he'll be carrying, no?
You can literally
Offlane Mirana, mid Ember, bad line Wraith King.
That's probably what they're going to go for.
It is very greedy, I agree.
Very much still. It's an incredibly greedy lineup that they have. I mean, it's a good thing that they have Moonlight Shadow to get away from any sticky situations that they need to. Having said that, PMS Asterix also had a very greedy lineup, because, you know, with the Dragon Knight, he also needs levels to be able to become effective. It's only when he hits his level 3 ult, that dragon with the kind of built-in Skadi, that he kind of becomes able to take those towers down, take that damage, and deal huge amounts of damage. But they're kind of protecting their towers by picking up the Treant, who's going to heal them. So that's a good defensive way of going, we're going to make sure we have towers, we're going to make sure to keep our jungle to farm, and get our levels on our heroes before we engage. So it's going to be interesting to see whether this is going to be a farming game, or will one team try to get map control and push towers early.
I mean, it's strange, both teams have very good late game, but I think PMS have got slightly better push for the beginning. But let's get on with introducing the teams. You want to pick one and then go left to right through the colours?
It's almost time for everybody to die.
Yes, I'll do SMG since their names are in English. So, firstly, on the Lion, we have SMG Biony 5. They have a stand-in Goose playing the Morana. On the Ember Spirit, we have White Hoo-Hoo. On the Abaddon, we have another stand-in.
Oh, sorry, one sec. One second. Sorry, the horn sound on my computer is incredibly loud. I couldn't hear that. Could you start with the Abaddon again?
Yes, we have another stand-in Lilith on the Abaddon, and finally we have on the Wraith King SMGM.
Yeah, and aggro try. I'm looking forward to that. Very quickly, before we run out of time here, we've got Star of Light on the Slark looking down at a defensive tri-lane. We've got Shizuma going the Centaur off lane, no big surprise there. We've got Tree, also part of this defensive tri-lane, who unfortunately, because I don't read that language, is just going to be known as Tree this game. We've got Ancient Apparition being played by Furry Fish, which is a pretty badass kind of fish. And finally, mid on the Dragon Knight, going to be running up against the Ember Spirit. We have Are You Kidding Me Meow, which is a brilliant name. 10 out of 10 for naming.
I love that name, Are You Kidding Me?
I like what PMS are doing now. They're keeping the supports out of vision so that SMG can't know whether they're facing an aggressive tri-lane or a defensive, because it could be either, really.
Yeah, and also it's a nice way, because, you know, as we've talked about, Slark, once he hits 6, his maneuverability and his movement changes completely. So, you know, you'd want to give him some space early on. Not only give him the farm, but make sure he gets those early levels, and hopefully by that stage you'll be able to gap accordingly.
Ember Spirit finishing off Dragon Knight incredibly quickly at mid. I didn't think we'd be missing it that early. And I was pretty sure it would be going down in the tri-lane. That's huge, and he's barely on half health. I guess mid's the place to be watching right now.
Are you kidding me? I didn't expect to kill that quickly in the game.
Yeah, exactly right. Very good name for this. I mean, who wins there? I gotta say, I think I give it to the Ember Spirit. I mean, Although Dragon Knight to me as a mid is always kind of, you don't expect him to do great at mid exactly. You expect him to farm fairly well and you know, hopefully turn that into some major push later. He's a very carry-oriented option.
As I mentioned, you know, a big thing for the Dragon Knight is to get his levels. So this is why you'd run him mid. And he does have great push. It's just, you know, that first blood was something unexpected 1.5 minutes in. So, you know, I mean, both heroes now have got their bottle, have got a bit more kind of stability in lane, but we'll see what they do there, basically.
I like this ward coming out from the Radiant supports. It narrowly avoids blocking the pool camp, but there's that little strip of line just above the pool camp there where you can put a ward without blocking either. And unfortunately, it hasn't dewarded anything, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know if you saw this, but what SMG were actually doing was just positioning people to stand in the spawn area of the camp to stop the blocks. They haven't gone for a sentry or anything there.
Oh, that's very smart of them as well, and it kind of, I mean, their tri lane is amazing because you have the disable coming out of from the line, you have the Abaddon who has missed call and a Photic shield, so he's quite a kind of a defensive support, so he can take a bit of damage and not have to worry about it. And yeah, that's very smart of them. It's a very kind of,
oh dear, stun coming down on Furry Fish. Lions in there got a stun as well. This is not looking good, but there'll be a leap. He'll be able to get out, no problem. And actually, Star of Light was getting some decent damage down on the Abaddon there, but now a Photic Shield's come up on the Wraith King. He throws out another stun at Furry Fish. This isn't over yet. Looking for another Lion Spike. There it is. Star of Light, though, has managed to leash on Lion, but he's going to have to get out. He falls now to the Abaddon. This is going very, very badly for PMS here. It was a messy fight, but just the number of heals. As you were saying, it's what Abaddon can do. I mean, I guess in a kind of melee-oriented aggressive tri-lane, he can actually work quite well as an aggressive support.
Yeah, it's that Photic Shield that kind of protected the heroes. It protected Wraith King, it protected himself, and it caused great amounts of damage to the Slark as well. So, you know, we saw kind of the potential of that aggressive try. We saw, and like obviously, strangely enough though, the Wraith King hasn't gone for Vampiric Aura just yet.
I mean, I do find that a bit strange. I understand maxing the stun first. That's good. That's going to have the most utility at this stage in the game. But the Mortal Strike,
I think a big part of it is,
I don't know.
You don't want the lane to push out, do you? I mean, that's their thinking, is they don't want their lane to push out. Which, if they had Vampiric Aura,
that's true.
It means that
they would push out a lot. Yeah.
Automatically pushing out because of, yeah. So.
Yeah, at the same time, I'm wondering if this is the kind of time when you start thinking, well, we're actually in control of the lane. We've got more reliable stuns. We've got more heals already. Maybe we do max the aura, take down that tower fairly soon. Treant is going to be able to get off a chain pull here. Unfortunately, the camp is going to be warded for the next one though. This near magic bush observer that's been put up. And oh my god, look how close that is.
Outside of the range, yes.
That's huge.
It's like literally half an inch away.
That is very unfortunate. And they're right up against the tower again now, thanks to that Treant pull. But I gotta say, I mean, like Tree's going to be envisioned the entire time thanks to these wards coming out from SMG, and I do kind of have to wonder, like, at what point are they just going to go in there and kill him?
If they want to go on another kill, yeah, they don't even need to go kill the Treant. The fact that he's so far away, then they can time their attack on something like the Slark or the AA very, very quickly by knowing that the Treant is too far away to do anything. I mean, obviously, you know, he does have 1 point in living armor, but that's not going to do that much damage considering how much disable that they have at the moment.
Abaddon briefly ran up there just to try and chase him off. And now I'm going to take some tower harass, which I don't think was intentional. And Tree kind of having a bit of a hard time making his way back to lane. He's got to be very careful of running into that Abaddon. But I mean, even with this,
I've had a chance to quickly look at the last hits and denies, and Ember is actually dominating mid with 35 last hits, 15 denies, while the Dragon Knight was on 21 last hits and 4 denies. So I mean, that lane is clearly at the moment being won by Ember Spirit.
It is, but I mean, to an extent, I kind of expected that to happen anyway, and he's actually doing kind of alright. Like, he could be doing a lot worse, especially after that first blood. Like, he's getting farm. It's slow. It's very, very slow. It's actually slower than that offlaner, which isn't good, but it is happening.
Yeah.
He'll get his armor.
Yeah. Having said that, the kind of off-lane, safe-lane battle between Morana and Centaur is, you know, it's kind of going how you would expect it. The Centaur is on 27 last hits, the Morana's on 36. But now that he has 2 points in return, that will kind of allow him to get some of that farm back, because, you know, Morana, let's be honest, at this stage, is still very squishy, and she can't take too much damage from that return.
Yeah.
So she's going to have to be very careful about harassing as well.
But that's the thing I absolutely love about running center in the off lane. It's just like when the ranged supports try and do what they always do and harass you out of lane. It's just like, oh, I'm sorry, you're taking more damage than me from this. That return ability, too strong. But I mean, just look at this Star of Light, safe lane Slark.
Oh, there's a gank.
Behold, a subtle burn.
DK's got tree armor, but here comes Ember Spirit. They've got the Searing Chains down. No arrow coming out from Morana. It's on cooldown.
She initiated with the arrow to guarantee the regen rune, which she used, and then I guess the Ember wasn't in place enough to be able to do anything about it.
I mean, down on the bot lane, this is just a sad story for PMS. I mean, just look at where they are forced to be. Slark can't get anything here. Like, literally nothing.
Yeah, and they can zone them out. I mean, look at this. The Wraith King is moving forward, the Abaddon are moving forward, they're zoning them out.
Geez, they've actually
XP from the creeps as well.
Forced them completely beyond the tower here. This is huge. They're going to get jungle XP.
And they can do that.
Slark's going to try and sneak in behind them, though. Try and get some defense on this tower. I think they might be looking to get a deny, actually. It's almost in range. But Slark, unfortunately, is kind of completely by himself. If they dive again with this wave... Oh no, here we go. AA coming up as well. I'm expecting we'll get a cold feet sometime soon.
I think they have to be very, very careful about it, because again, I mean, Lion has already hit level 5, he has 3 points in Earth Spike, a point in Hex, so...
Oh, there it is. Oh, we got a TP coming in from Dragon Knight, and there's a leash going down on the Wraith King. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. Hex now on the DK. Nice stun goes out there, does manage to hit the Wraith King. He's so low. Aphotic Shield again, just saving him completely. Now they've got a Stomp coming down on the Ember. They need to get damage on him very, very quickly. Centaur's too low. They're all too low, in fact. They're going to have to back out. Heal's very, very powerful in the early game here.
You saw what Abaddon did right there. He kept the Wraith King alive throughout the whole fight. You know, by throwing out Aphotic Shields, by throwing out Mist Coils, and you know, that's how Abaddon effective is as a support, basically. He can protect your carry in lane very, very well.
Wraith King is going to be forced back, so Slark will be able to have a little bit more farm in lane right here. Tower's obviously just going to get healed straight back up.
Yeah, and you know, that's a key thing. The moment that he's almost at 6, the moment he hits 6, it will be a change to how he lanes, basically. So hopefully we'll get to see that. They might even try to go for a gank once Slark hits 6 as well, so we'll see whether they do that or not.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, that to me is kind of the eternal question when you're playing with Slark. Wow, killing spree again. Ancient Apparition this time being picked off by the Ember Spirit. I mean, this is the thing, we're getting into the kind of roaming stage of the game. That's not going to make it any better for PMS. Not when they're up against a very fed Ember Spirit who can just zip to pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, they've reached a stage where they're rotating the support, because, I mean, Wraith King is almost at 6, Slark is at 6, so he can kind of cover himself and farm by himself. He doesn't need any lane support whatsoever. Which is a kind of a good idea. Having said that, I mean, their towers are going down a lot.
He's heading into mid, he's going to get a leash there on Ember Spirit, but leash of course does not stop the Remnant Leap, which is what comes out just absolutely immediately. Looks like they're going to get the first kill here on the Lion. I mean, they do have very, very good team fight if they can combine the Centaur Stomp with the leash, with the tree ult, chucking a cold feet on top of it.
Yeah.
But they do have to team up to do
A
it.
big part of it is they are losing early towers, which their lineup is designed not to lose early towers, especially with the treant. You know, you want to protect your towers, you want to protect your farm for as long as possible to get those levels that the Dragon Knight needs. But unfortunately, they've lost their off-lane tower, and they're very close to losing their mid and safe lane towers as well.
I mean, the offlane one I think you can kind of let go. I don't think it's as important as some of the others.
Radiant's
But
bottom tower is
the
being
mid one, they
attacked.
actually had a choice here. They could have denied it if they wanted.
Radiant's bottom tower has been destroyed.
And bot going down now. That's pretty huge. That loses them a huge amount of control on their jungle. SMG have been very good with warding for the entire game, so I'm pretty sure that will be warded up. Now that it's kind of just the free kill zone. And Shizuma in trouble here.
Again, the Slark will be able to see.
There's a stun. Wraith King just jumping now on the Centaur and is finished off very, very quickly.
Don't question it. Just let it roll on.
Furry Fish in real trouble here.
Another put down.
Are you kidding me? Needs to back up. This is not looking good. Slark popped his ult. He's going to be able to get out fairly well. Or is he? Just a ridiculous harass from Ember Spirit. Combine that with Sleight of Fist.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And yeah, Slarky got fisted.
Radiant's middle
Just
tower
like Dark
has
Reef
been
Prison days.
destroyed.
Are you kidding me? That team fight just wins, you know, 3 kills for I love that name. But yeah, I mean, like, we saw that ability of just the dive power is absolutely huge. And you know, Morana hasn't even had to use her ult once this game so far.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Wraith
being
King has
attacked.
hit 7
I
now,
hope that's part of
so
your plan.
he has his ult, so you can't really initiate on him. You can't really initiate on the Emperor because he has escape. You can't really initiate on the Morana because she's in the same position.
Great teamwork.
Jeez.
You vicious thugs.
Yeah,
I just want to point.
and
Have a
Ember
quick look
is
at the
starting-
have a quick look at the net worth chart. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, this gap is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Not for kind of any lack of trying, it's just simply who are you going to initiate on? When it comes to SMG, you know, you really can't initiate on any of them because they all have escape and disable mechanism.
Yeah, I was going to say the best option
You know,
is
they added
Lion,
on all
but
this borrowed time.
that's not a good option. Oh, but they are just going to go straight on the Dragon Knight up here. Finger of Death comes out. Oh, but a nice blink stop there from Shizuma, who's going to finish off the Lion and possibly not save the Dragon Knight, which is very unfortunate. But it was a very nice kill on the Lion. Oh, the AA ult does manage to pop the Wraith King ulti at least. So that happened.
That's good. That goes very, very well because now they know that
Radiant's
they
top
can go
tower
after the
is
Wraith
being
King. They have
attacked.
250 seconds to go after him to get a kill and hopefully be able to make something out of it. Especially because, I mean, soon enough he's going for an armlet, so once he grabs that, it will just become harder and harder, even if he doesn't have reincarnation. So, you know, if I was in the position of PMS girls right now,
Radiant's middle
I'd try to
tower is
chase
being
down the
attacked.
Wraith King, find him, maybe smoke gank, and start to tilt, you know, the kind of kill streak.
Morana wants his Slark. There's the arrow. Starfall. Oh, but doesn't manage to get it before the ult is popped, and it's an ult TP from Slark. Nice response from him, and a very clutch armor coming out from the tree as well. This game is all over the damn place. All over the damn place. I mean, okay, so what do you do now when you're SMG? You don't want to lose the momentum, that's for sure. They've got a great position here to, apparently you do Roche. Nope, you don't. You just nip to the secret shop.
I mean, at the moment, because they have so much map control and kind of maneuverability and movement coming out of the Ember, coming out of the Morana, they can just slowly but surely try to grab these pickoffs on the Slark, on other heroes, and get the kills, and just kind of expand on that lead that they have already. And you can just leave the Wraith King to farm in the jungle. You don't even need the Wraith King in any of these situations or any of these team fights.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Ember Spirit now initiating on 2. Shizuma actually able to do real work there, does manage to finish off the Wraith King, and now they've got Ember Spirit on the run. Ember without much mana. This is probably their best chance at him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Bounty there getting a nice stun in. Got Baden now pretty much surrounded by the entire Radiant team. He's going to be able to cut up the Radiant reinforcements from getting in.
Tower is under siege.
But SMG doing an amazing job at just escaping here. Oh, almost dies to the Abaddon. That poor Slark. Now we have Invis Lion. He does have Finger of Death. There's a pick-off here if they want it. Oh, he no longer has Finger of Death. Oh, now he does again. This mana has been very confusing.
But the Abaddon is just standing there, he's tanking the damage, and he has a mic as well. So, you know, he's happy to turn around and fight any of them at the moment, because he goes, well, you're on low health, and even though I don't have my health, I can pretty much take you on if I needed to.
Yeah. Absolutely. And here we go, Ember Spirit just safely, passively farming mid. Nothing to stop him. Missed the hit on that catapult, which...
I mean, it's just such a shame that PMS didn't manage to get the Ember in that last team fight. I mean, they, as I mentioned, SMG were doing the right thing, we're trying to go for a gank, but it kind of got turned around on them. And, you know, they kind of kept their biggest carry, which is the Ember.
Oh, Mirana again! Jumping on the Slark. She's been really close a couple of times.
Those arrows are very, very good. They've been hitting so far. Every time I saw them, they've hit the Slark, basically.
Actually, this doesn't seem to be the kind of Mirana play where you where you're throwing out arrows all the time, just in the hope that you get one. Oh, a nice blink stomp onto the Centaur, but I'm not sure they're going to have enough lockdown for this. Yep. See now, if they changed things up a bit and had a Doom instead of, even instead of the Centaur, and the Centaur's been like a major player for them. But if they'd had a Doom instead of a Centaur, they'd be able to. They would have got some kills on Ember Spirit. It wouldn't be 5 for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as we mentioned, both teams went for greedy lineups in this game, but it seems to have worked out and to the benefit of SMG thanks to their aggressive tri lane. And it kind of didn't work to the benefit. I mean, Dragon Knight, he's still level 9, so, you know, with his level 1 dragon form, he's still not doing that much damage.
I mean, not a single tower down. That's not good. And now they're just absolutely storming down down the mid lane. Nice blink stop from Centaur. Actually brings pretty much the entire team low. Wraith King very close to death. The tree ult isn't out yet. Abaddon goes down. But now the Mirana ult. We have had tree. Are we going to get another stun here? There's another blink stun coming out from Centaur. Well played. Bounty's in there now. He's ready to help supporting his team. Throws in a stun, but SMG's M does fall. Nice pick off though from the Ember Spirit in return, and with a double damage rune, that's double sleight of fist as well. Pops his last drums to get away. Beautiful arrow from Mirana there. And it almost looks like the Radiant of the Dire and the Dire of the Radiant, and they're chasing back to tier 2s. AA misses, unfortunately. Shizuma now kind of in trouble. But I mean, I think this is what PMS need to be doing. They need to be taking these fights. And we've got an E-Blade up. Centaur finishes off the Mirana. They get a quick smoke out. Almost immediately popped. Are you kidding me? That's not the guy they wanted to leave behind.
Are you kidding me now?
Like, anybody but the Dragon Knight would have been an acceptable person to leave behind, but they cannot afford to have him not safe with the team. Are they out of stuns? Yes, they are. Dragon Knight safely out. An excellent play there from PMS. I mean, what I've been kind of holding on saying was, you know, this best of 2 series. Well, best of 2? That's not really right. Well, it's a 2-game series. PMS have obviously lost their flow here, but I mean, as I said before, I've seen them play. They are a very good team. I think the second match will be a lot closer, and I think they're almost out of this, but they're not quite out of this yet.
Yeah, I mean, they're recovering quite well. They're getting the key kills on people like the Wraith King. I mean, obviously they still haven't killed the Ember yet, but they're picking up the key kills here. It's going to be really hard to push tier 3 against them, especially with the Treant and the ults that they have. They're getting to a stage where they're having a bit of flow in the game. A big problem is going to be
Mirana's going for AA.
And those mechs.
It just takes, what's that, 6 right clicks? That's huge.
Yeah, and You know, I mean, like the Morana at the moment with the Ghost Scepter, how are you going to target her? Because, you know, you have a lot of physical damage coming out from your hard carries, and as we saw earlier in the team fight, she just kind of walked away from all of that. So...
I mean, what they actually... the E-Blade had worn off, but I think their best option for killing her is probably going to be Centaur. Because she's got fairly low health, and his nukes are actually really powerful. Oh dear, Dragon Knight does get pushed off by a big concentrated push on mid. Stampede gets used. I think it's going to secure Centaur. He's going to survive.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But the tower's still just taking hits.
Radiant has fortified its structures.
Does pop borrowed time. Want to quickly do a shout out here to the Zabadan who is not getting ags. Repeat, not getting ags.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And they want to go Roche. Being pinged out by Lion there. I mean, this is... I can't remember where I saw this. It was in one of the... It was either a cast or a forum or something like that. But the whole idea that iFrog and the rest of them have... It was a patch log analysis, that's what it was. Is that the spirits, Earth Spirit, Ember Spirit, and Storm Spirit, the entire point of them is they're meant to be kind of squish and very, very mobile. So if you're fighting against them, you do need huge amounts of lockdown. And I have to say, I don't think PMS have enough. They've got the Trio, which doesn't stop Ember Spirit, they've got the Centaur Stomp, and they've got the Dragon Knight Stun. It's not enough.
But here's the thing. How are they going to do that? I mean, we saw in the team fight earlier as well. You have the Centaur blinking in and stomping, but then you have the Lion who can just hex him or stun him back.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, a great pickup for his support right there. His support with a hex and a stun.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, yeah, SMG actually have more disable. That should never happen. But it's Abaddon who's picked off on the sidelines here. But unfortunately SMG have finished the Roche. They're roaring out now. AA ult does get thrown in. There's a Ghost Scepter now on Centaur who's just trying to run around and Stampede, trying to get some damage on. Bounty now looking in real trouble, does get finished off by the Slark. Now we've got Morana and Ember chasing the Slark and Centaur out of the side of town where they do not belong. Slark will be fine, getting a quick TP. Actually, the Stomp comes out on Morana while Ember Spirit TP's out.
This E-Blade is going to come off cooldown and it's going to kill the Centaur if he's not careful.
Not even necessary. Going for a quick regen rune here on the Ember Spirit. He does not need it at all, but he's still got his bottle, so that's okay. And he has gone for the Battle Fury first, which I like. That's a great build. What I would like to see him do next is, I don't know, maybe crits? Do you say crits?
Crits would be nice in this game. I mean, like, again, just grab another damage item. I mean, they have the Aegis, they have a kind of a blink initiation that's coming out of the Wraith King now. Morana has got an E-Blade, and that is going to be a huge, huge thing to kind of take out the Centaur out of the team fights, basically, if necessary.
Well, I mean, I think it might be more about the... Maybe more about the Slark? I mean, the Centaur Stomp and the Double Edge all do magical damage. I don't think he suffers too much from the lack of physical.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It could come out on the Slark as well. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, if he kind of blinks into the middle of the 5 of them, you could have just as easily tried to arrow him / E-Blade him as quickly as you can.
Yeah, true. He's certainly going to be going down a lot because SMG have a huge amount of magical damage. Even just from the Ember Spirit, the kind of Radiance burn of Flame Guard.
Yeah, I mean, you know, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Yeah, sorry, not right now. He's got level 2 ult, so that kind of gives him a bit more power. Unfortunately, you know, every time they're getting a kill on a key hero, they're losing 2 or 3 heroes.
Yeah.
We're seeing the pings coming out of the Slark as well. Kind of
blink over from Wraith King.
Where are the wards?
Oh, beautiful AA ult. Hits 3, I think. Lion's already down, so that's a lot of the reliable stun out for SMG. M now taking an awful lot of damage from this Slark. But I think this is a fight that... Oh, and a beautiful Morana arrow to secure the kill before he could pop his ult. AA also getting finished off here, and this is not looking good for Are You Kidding Me? Meow indeed.
Those people had fat triple homicide.
Yeah, it's just that aphotic shield and those heals that are coming out of the Abaddon.
Trust me, I'm a super
it just kind of enabled the Wraith King to kind of stand there, and even if they killed him, even if they killed the Wraith King, he still had Reincarnation up and the Aegis.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's a
So,
question of who do you
none of
focus
Is
on.
being attacked.
It really is. Ember Spirit can get away. Abaddon. I mean, you focus on the Lion. That's the answer. They've killed the Lion a fair few times, but he's not. He shouldn't be the one you really want to kill. Ember Spirit getting the kill there, as I was saying, just with the Radiance Burn. That was a Radiance Burn kill while he bladed.
Radiant's top tower has been destroyed. Murders.
Oh wow, this is absolutely huge. Tree goes down as well. Central course is down. Slark taking so much damage from this Radiance Burn. And that's 4 down now. These racks are open.
Radiant's top barracks is being attacked.
Anybody we know get a prize? No, they did not.
Radiant's top barracks has been destroyed.
This is just absolutely ridiculous. We're just getting crushed here.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
kind of
both
surprised we haven't
teams
seen
went
GG.
Top
for-
barracks has fallen.
Yeah, I mean, both teams went for greedy builds, and it seems to have worked out better towards the SMG team because they managed to secure those early kills, secure those early levels, and
Dire did not lose as badly as
There's the
Radiant,
GG.
and is technically the winner.
Same password next game. Well, very briefly, what are your thoughts? How did that go?
well, I mean, I think it was just that tri-lane. They lost the tri-lane massively towards the Wraith King. I'm hoping that the next game we'll see a kind of a different strategy coming out maybe, and hopefully, you know, maybe PMS girls won't be as greedy when it comes to their lineup, and that might work to their advantage hopefully in the next game.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. And Ember Spirit obviously still doing a huge amount on this scene. I'm just going to switch over all of the things. There we go. In fact, let me just get this ready first of all. Right, switch over all the things, and we will see you guys very, very shortly.